Hello everyone, Shane here with ROA Off-Road. Welcome to another Campfire Rant. These come out every Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you like these. If you don't have to do anything. Just don't watch them. Go watch something else. Anyway, today I actually want to talk about why the RV industry in America sucks so much. I'm sorry if that offends you. And I want to actually focus more specifically on the dealerships, because most of them are just straight up terrible. Honestly, man, I don't want to be so super negative and talk bad about people or dealerships in general, but and not to talk like hype ourselves up any, but Michael, he always says, you know, here at ROA on our worst day, we're 10 times better than every other dealership in America. And honestly, it's not even saying anything about us, because most dealerships are so terrible that it's hard not to be better than them. Like, all you have to do is be a human being and treat other human beings like human beings, and most likely you're gonna be way ahead of most RV dealerships. And I don't like these negative rants, but the reality is it needs to change. Most RV dealerships are unbelievably transactional. I know of some good ones, right? I'm friends with some owners across the country, and I look for those people, but the majority of them are just straight up terrible. And we know this is because we have people call all the time, every day. They bought a trailer from another dealer that sells a similar product to us or the same product, and they're like, yeah, I went and bought it from them brand spanking new, and they won't even return my phone calls. What do you mean they won't return your phone calls? Like, I've called them and they don't even return my phone calls. You're spending, you know, 50 to 100 grand and you don't even get a return phone call? That's absurd. The walkthroughs. Like, you go and pick up a trailer and guess what your walkthrough is? Here's the keys. Do you have any questions? Hook up and you can leave. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. I had a guy that worked with us a while ago. He went and bought one from a dealership, and he paid $1,000 for a walkthrough, and it was 10 minutes long. They took 10 minutes with this guy, and they paid $1,000 for this walkthrough. Now, this is a huge issue, is because RVs are not cars. They're not like super intuitive. Everybody's familiar with a car, but RVs they're new. If you've never owned an RV before, oh, bless your soul. Like buying a trailer, do the research on the dealership that you're working with. Like, do as much as research as you can, because I'll tell you what, unfortunately, an expectation that you can have is you're buying that trailer, you're driving it off the lot, and you're never going to talk to that dealership ever again. Now, the funny thing is, you have to do warranty, you have to do service, right? So you're going to have to somehow get in contact with their service department, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be pain. And the reality is, it's just kind of like that across the board. And then when you do get a hold of them, when you do get it in for service, expect to wait for months potentially, especially if it's during the spring or the summer when you actually want to use your trailer. Expect for it to be like, if you take your trailer out in spring, in April or May, and it breaks, you might not have your trailer back in use until July or August, and the summer's over and your camping trips are broken. So what tends to happen a lot in the industry is the owners become extremely handy, because if they're not, they can't use their trailer. It is just so sad. I see this everywhere, every day, across the board, because we get the phone calls, because other dealers carry the same products as us. We get a phone call every single day with somebody that's frustrated, sad, or mad because they can't get the service, like not just the service that they expected, but they're getting service that they just never even saw coming, which is terrible service, right? And so they're reaching out to us all the time, and unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to service everybody on planet Earth. Like, the people that buy the trailers from us, we give them phenomenal service, right? The roamers, that we have exclusive roamer tech lines. And it's so funny, is because I talk about that all the time, and I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is because so many dealers, not only do you not have a tech line, you don't even have a line to call to actually get help with anything. It's more of a get on our schedule and you can bring it and drop it off, and that's it. And we're not talking to you, we're not educating you on why it broke or what happened. It's very transactional. Like the service that I expect from most RV dealerships for people, unfortunately, is the same service that I get at Walmart. And I hope I'm not offending so many people today, people that work at Walmart. But like when I go to Walmart, 80 to 90% of the cashiers are gone. So it's pretty much self-check. So there's not service there. As you walk in, somebody smiles at you, which is nice. They're still doing that. But like the other day I was at a Walmart and I asked somebody where something was and they seemed mad, like frustrated that like, why can't you just figure it out and go and find it yourself? And that's unfortunately a lot of the service that you can expect at most RV dealerships throughout America. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate because like nobody needs an RV. That's what blows my mind. Nobody needs this. This is, to me, it's a toy, it's a luxury item. You should have an experience when you buy a camper, and it's just simply you don't. And that's all there is to it. So people come to us from all over the country to buy from us because we actually provide some sort of support. You know, we just had a guy in today from San Diego, right? So 70 to 80% of everybody that works with us is not even from Utah or South Carolina. They're coming from all over the country, all over the world, actually. We've sold things all over the world. And it's crazy is because it's just, all we do is provide service. But it just, to me, it feels like that's what you should do. I mean, we make mistakes, but like, like our mistakes are not as bad as most dealers just best experience, right? It's just crazy to me that somebody would just not return a phone call or return a text. I mean, I went out and bought a car recently and I text the guy, this was like a year ago. I text him afterwards, dude, I'm a huge fan. I think I really want to look for one of these other types of vehicles that you carry and you know, maybe in the next year. He never even replied. Like I told him I want to buy something from him and he never even replied. Like to me, it's like, are you serious? Like because I had bought the vehicle already and left. Like, you ever heard of repeat customers? Like they come back and buy again from you when you treat them good. And he seemed like he treated me pretty good during the transaction, but once the transaction was over, it was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like a nuisance to him. And it's like, really? Like, I'm willing to keep on working with you, but you don't return my text? You don't return my calls? Like, why would I work with you? It just seems absurd. It's just so, it's so small-minded, right? The funny thing is, Walmart, at least they give you low prices consistently, right? And that's what's crazy is like, you can't treat your dealership like Walmart because Walmart has commodities. So you give me a cheap milk and terrible service, I might keep on coming back to get your cheap milk. And I just expect not to have good service. But an RV dealership, the funny thing is you find very little to no loyalty in dealerships because what happens is somebody buys from them and they don't go back. When they're ready to buy a new one, they go somewhere else. But guess what? They just keep on going to new places because they keep on getting that same terrible service over and over. And it's really sad. It's very unfortunate. Here at ROA, our goal is to not just change business how we do it, but we want to change the entire industry. We want to raise the standard, and I feel like we've been doing it towards working with the quality trailers, but we also want to raise the standard in service, in the delivery experience. Like, the delivery experience needs to change, and not just the delivery experience, but the post-sale service, right? Because one of the biggest pain points is just the lack of understanding on how to operate your RV. I mean, we get these calls, and we get calls, like I said, every single day. And some of the things are like, I don't know how to turn on the fridge. I don't know how to lock the door. I don't know how to, you know, like, it's absurd. New first-time RV owners, beware, because this is an issue. And when you go out to buy a camper, if you don't know anything about it, beware. Find a good dealer that's willing to walk you through the trailer and teach you how to operate it, because unfortunately, it's just not happening in the industry. I don't want a flood of calls because the reality is we can't service people that don't buy from us. So we really focus, number one, on our roamers, right? The people that buy from us, they are the focus. And when you buy it from us, you're the focus forever. It's not just the sell and you're done. If people, we have people that are, we just had one guy that stopped in at our facility actually today, and he bought a trailer from us 3 years ago. He just stopped in. He randomly stops in once every so often just to see us, see how we're doing, see what's new. And we have stuff like that on the weekly, you know, people reaching out to us. We have that roamer tech line. And that's something that we can provide for people that buy trailers from us. We can't provide it for free for everybody that doesn't buy trailers from us. So the reason why I'm doing this video is to give you value so that you can be warned and know ahead of time to find a good dealer. And there are good dealers that exist. I believe we are the best. There are other ones out there that are really good, and I believe they're always trying to give a good service, and I give props to them. And I hope we can inspire more and more dealers throughout America to truly step up their game. And we will. And when you support us, that's kind of what you're supporting. You're not just supporting us, but you're supporting a change in the entire industry. And we want to thank you for that. And have a wonderful day. If you like this, don't forget to like, share it with somebody, and subscribe to see these every Thursday. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.